and welcome to this Facebook Live talking about the speed numbers discipline. Of course, speed numbers mirrors the 1 hour number in the championships. So there's 40 digits to a row, and there's the same trick, if you like, or the same tip as we get with the hour numbers, whereby on your final line of recall, if you add a single digit on the last line, if you get it incorrect, you'll score half a point. Half what you attempted is the rule, which is then rounded up to a full point. So whether you get it right or wrong, you still get points from that. So exactly the same as our numbers, you can gain an extra point very easily. Of course, the difference with speed numbers is you get 2 attempts, best of 2. So in your first trial, you can go steadily. You can maybe go over the lines more than once just to make sure that you get points on the board. So you've got a solid first run, and if you've then managed that, your second run, you can go all out, sprint as fast as you can, and go for death or glory. So you've got points to fall back on if your second attempt you make mistakes in. What a lot of the competitors often do is after they've memorised, they sit in the recall phase for the first few minutes, and they then go through what they've just memorised, their journeys in their mind to reinforce that. So when they start writing down, they've got a more solid memory to bring back in their recall sheet. It's very important with speed numbers, as I said before, to get the points on the board, to start with a solid score. And that's what tends to happen throughout the competition for the top memorisers, is they tend to get roughly the same number of points for each of the different disciplines. They know their limits, they know what they can do achieved in training, try to replicate that in competition, so they stay with a nice solid progression, and overall that averages out to a very creditable, very good, often competition winning score. Dominic O'Brien was a great one for consistency, whereas Andy Bell, who Dominic beat on a number of occasions, tended to go all out, giving his all to all of the competitions, all the disciplines, and often that backfired. If he achieved that, it's fantastic, new world record potentially. If he didn't achieve that, he pushed himself too far, he would make mistakes, and that would end up costing him loads of points, and therefore eventually costing him the championships. So it makes sense to be consistent and steady rather than pushing yourself beyond your limits, which is an important point when you're competing. Another thing with speed numbers is that because you have such limited memorization time, it makes sense beforehand to draw lines on a sheet of transparent acetate you can lay over the memorization sheet. We'll always check for you in the competition to make sure that your lines are correctly aligned, and it just saves you a lot of time, so you don't have to waste time drawing lines when you're grouping the digits into blocks to memorize them. Interestingly, the People's Democratic Republic of Korea team last year in the World Championships, despite us offering them acetate, decided they'd rather do it in the way they've been training, which was just ruling lines at the start of memorization, but they still did incredibly well. Although the world record's actually held by Wei Qinru from China, 616 digits. She's, of course, our 2018 world champion. So it's incredible what people are now able to do in that discipline. So if this has been of interest to you, we'll go on to the next discipline in the next Facebook Live next Sunday. So in the meantime, survive your lockdown, enjoy Easter as best you can, and speak to you soon. Thanks for listening, and bye for now.